Okay, now for the question of the week. We hear this often with some of our professional services entrepreneurs is they're struggling with founder dependency and more specifically around sales. So the question is, how do I start to delegate sales and marketing and business development functions? So we have a couple of ideas for you. I mean, this is critical if you're trying to exit. It's also critical if you want to capture some work-life balance. So let's walk through some of the ideas. So one is, involve everybody in sales. Doesn't matter whether they're an analyst, a consultant, a manager, a senior manager, developer, architect, is start to include the entire team in certain sales cycles, whether it's a response to an RFP or whether it's a client meeting or whether it's a proposal or whether it's an oral presentation. Try to get everybody involved so they start to see what happens in a sales cycle and begin to be comfortable with that. Two is work on having clear sales metrics. So pipeline, sales stages, conversion, win rates, things like that. Start collecting and communicating that with the team. That will begin to raise their acumen on and also create some transparency around how the company grows, the volume, and also critical milestones around selling. Third thing is make sure your go-to-market is refined. Most services firms produce the most results when they're clearly targeting a niche, some very specific market with very specific problems. So having that real clarity for the staff will improve their confidence in getting involved in sales situations. I always like this one is role playing and sales training. So just because somebody's a consultant doesn't mean that they shouldn't have the opportunity to do periodic role plays or training as it relates to effective client conversations, maybe even building their personal brand, things like that. So make those part of your weekly meetings or monthly meetings, is having some of those and have them for very specific sales situations. Another critical piece is having a standardized sales process. So once you have a niche defined, what are the steps that happen in a sales process and what are the artifacts you use to support that? And what are the outcomes by sales stage? Knowing the process that you go through in order to be successful in sales is critically important. This often doesn't happen, in service firms, but have a sales meeting, or it could be a sales and pipeline meeting, but have a meeting where metrics are communicated, where you talk about a sales or client topics, and it begins to build a culture and begins to align the team around the importance and the activities in selling. Cross-functional collaboration, so i.e. sales and delivery in my mind, is important. So one of the ways to bring this to the forefront is to institute some kind of account planning process that includes both sales and delivery. So they're leveraging each other's relationships, they're thinking strategically about the account, they're going in with big ideas that matter, that capture the client's attention. But when it's done in a cohesive way with both sales and delivery, it tends to be much more effective. And then finally, use technology, not just CRM, but there's lots of AI type capabilities that can help with, evaluating proposals or writing statements of work or, doing research on a client or developing client specific messaging. All those kinds of things are enabled through technology. So those are 7 or 8 things that can get you on your way to starting to remove the dependency on the rainmaking founder for business development, sales, and marketing.